It's time for another top 5, and this time it's our 5 must-have tools in your cycling life. Supply issues have conspired to make cycling components harder to get a hold of than ever before. So making sure that you have the tools required to look after your beloved ride has never been more important. And of course, remember, if you enjoyed this video, give it a cheeky like, and if you want to see more, don't forget to subscribe and click that little bell icon to get notified each time we upload a video. This may seem obvious to the seasoned cyclists out there, but for the newbies, this is sage advice. While dedicated hex keys will always be the easiest way to tighten or loosen the fixtures and fittings on our bicycles, you can't beat the sheer convenience of a multi-tool. Either stashed in your saddlebag or in your jersey pocket, they are invaluable if you're caught out with a mechanical on the trail or road. Most larger multi-tools will have more than just hex keys, so they should be able to help you get out of trouble in the wild. For example, most come with screwdrivers, tyre levers, and some will even come with a chain breaker. So rather than stuffing your bike bag or backpack with every size of hex key in the shed, you can just pack that one smart, compact multi-tool. Because nobody likes to sound like a bag of nails rattling down those trails or potholed roads. A torque wrench is an invaluable tool if you frequently fix your bike, particularly if your frame set or any of your components are made from carbon. A torque wrench allows you to tighten the nuts and bolts on your bike to a predetermined torque value. Now, some people will rely on the old calibrated elbow approach, but this is a dangerous game to play. We have all heard horror stories from those that like to take this cavalier approach. From cracked seat posts to shattered handlebars, it is simply not a risk worth taking. Now, if you have deep pockets and think that buying fancy bike tools is a suitable replacement for a personality, you could spend truly thousands on a torque wrench. For the majority of us though, a simple mechanical torque wrench, which will cost no more than £100 or perhaps $150, will suffice. Just remember, those torque values printed on the side of your stem are there for a reason, and if you like having your own teeth, it's worth buying a torque wrench. Now this one is less obvious, but once you have your own, you simply will not be able to imagine living without it. A quick link tool is a fast and reliable way to remove quick links, funnily enough. If you didn't already know, a quick link works by replacing one outer chain link with a pair of slotted interlocking outer plates with permanently set pins. The force applied as you pedal pulls these two opposing links into a closed position, thus allowing you to quickly attach a chain without the fuss of having to use a chain breaker and split pins. Putting a quick link together is easy and can almost always be done by hand. However, getting them undone can require some fiddly and experimental treatment if you don't have the right tool. Now, if you don't have a proper quick link tool, a favourite trick is looping a small amount of gear cable between the two links and pulling them in opposite directions with some pliers. Now this will work, but my goodness, it is a hassle. A quick link tool replicates this function with what is essentially a hooked nose plier. The hooks pull together the quick link plates and mean you can split your chain without any bruised fingers. A high quality set of cable cutters will last an extremely long time, provided they are used as cable cutters and only for cutting cables. Too many cable cutters are simply abused and used for more menial tasks, including cutting zip ties. Over time, this dulls the blades and will lead to cables fraying when they are cut. Save those simple jobs for your lowly side cutters. Trust us when we say that nothing really does the job quite as well as a proper cable cutter, and there is nothing more satisfying as a good, clean cut for a freshly fitted cable. High quality cable cutters will also have a little feature which allows you to crimp the end of a cable end cap to finish off your work neatly. If you're going to be maintaining your bikes regularly, this is definitely a tool worth spending a bit of money on. Now this tool is technically more a series of tools. As being universal, it comes with many different parts to suit many different bikes. However, if you are a committed home mechanic, a universal bleed kit is definitely one to have in your stash, and here's why. Now, these days, modern hydraulic disc brakes rarely need bled more than once or twice a year. So why on earth would we be suggesting spending a half-decent bit of cash on a high-quality bleed kit? The reason is simple. Life is simply too short to mess around with cheapo bleed kits. Bleeding disc brakes is at the best of times a messy and not very pleasant job. Add in low quality tools to the mix and you have a recipe for a frustrating evening. With a cheap kit, you're likely to end up with flimsy syringes, low quality hoses and, most annoyingly of all, bottles which just don't quite close properly, leaking fluid all over your toolbox. If you're confident enough that you want to bleed your own brakes, just spend that little bit extra and go for a high quality bleed kit from one of the bigger brands in the cycling tools market. Now we can read the comments already. We can hear the rim brake aficionados laughing merrily as they have already invested in their wonderful cable cutters, and that's all they require to have high quality braking. But for those of you that have invested in a hydraulic disc brake system, spend that little bit extra cash and go for a high quality bleed kit from one of the bigger names in the cycling tools market. You will not regret it. So there you have it. These are our top 5 favourite cycling tools that you should invest in for your home workshop. But what did we miss? There's only 5 after all, and we all know there's more than 5 things that could go wrong with any bike. Let us know in the comments, and as always, like, subscribe and tickle that bell icon so you get a notification every time we post a video like this.